Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name's Dychronic, your host here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be going over my ultimate guide for the dawning 2020 winter event in Destiny 2. This video will go over everything that I know about the event, including a bunch of different general informations, the values of the bounties and the masterworks of the oven, the event weapons like Glacioclasm, the exotic quests, the ingredients, farming locations, the different recipes for all the different cookies, the triumphs, and everything that is awarded from these triumphs, including the different shaders that are hidden within the different Eververse items, literally everything I know about the event. And with that, I also made a text-based guide, which you can find on my Discord server, link in the description down below, on the channel hashtag spreadsheet stocks, which has pretty much everything I'll be talking about in this video. And if you end up using that Word document or you like what you see, make sure you come back and leave a like on this video and subscribe for more guides and top 10s in the future. And in case you haven't heard already, thank you for watching the video. Because of you guys watching and supporting these videos, I'm able to do these monthly giveaways of an Astra A10 headset and a Blue Yeti microphone. Check in the link in the description down below for how to enter. Right, so moving on, let's go ahead and get into the guide. First and foremost, this event takes place from December 15th to January 12th. So you have about 4 weeks to complete everything that you'd want to do for this event. This includes getting all the Eververse items that you want, includes doing all the different quests, getting all the cookies done, and all the versions of Glacioclasm, Cold Front, Avalanche that you could possibly want. To start the dawning stuff, you have to head over to Eva Levante. She's right in the middle of the tower. She'll give you a bunch of different quests, a bunch of bounties, gives you the holiday oven to get started with the stuff. My personal recommendation is to try to multitask as much as possible and to be as efficient as possible. When it comes to the oven, I highly recommend you make one of each cookie first. That allows you to get the cheaper cookies once you've cooked all the different recipes. On top of that, make sure you're not getting the repeatable bounties until you're ready to make cookies, because the repeatable bounties are all about making a specific type of cookie. When you do make cookies, you have to keep in mind who you're going to be bringing them to. Don't make the Riven ones if you can't get to Riven. My recommendation is to stick to the ones in the tower if you can, because you can get to all of the tower people without, again, leaving the tower. However, obviously, my recommendation would be following those repeatable bounties, as they give you a bunch of different rewards just by going to those certain vendors, making those certain cookies. When you do end up giving cookies to any of the vendors, you'll get a gift in return, which drops a bunch of different things, including one of the new Dawning exclusive weapons, Glimmer, substantial amount of experience, and additional rewards related to the event. Up next, I wanted to talk about the event weapons. One new weapon, the Glacioclasm fusion rifle, and 2 returning weapons with new roles, the Cold Front SMG and the Avalanche heavy machine gun. First up, for the Glacioclasm, which is an 860 charge high impact frame void fusion rifle, in my opinion is below average for both PvP and PvE. This frame type has below average DPS in PvE with admittedly decent perk options, and fusion rifles are generally not that great in PvP just across the board. You can check out a full review of this weapon that I made a couple days ago, link in the description down below. Up next, we have the Cold Front. It says 750 RPM aggressive frame kinetic SMG, and in my opinion, not a great weapon by any means. The aggressive frame archetype is not really that desirable with very high recoil. This particular one has 16 out of 100 stability off the bat and suffers from the same thing that most SMGs suffer from, very low kills per clip, and that means you're going to end up reloading pretty much half the time. The main desirable thing or unique thing about this weapon is that it's one of the only kinetic primaries with Dragonfly, which can trigger solar explosions for Warmind cells. But then again, there's also the 7 Seraph VY7 Precision SMG, which can also do that just on kills. And finally, we have the Avalanche Heavy Machine Gun, and honestly, this weapon has the exact same problem I had last year and the year before that. It has inferior stats in almost every single way to that of the Commemoration and the Hammerhead, and honestly, the perk options are really not that shiny. There are a few of the new ones, including Surplus, but honestly, it's really not worth it as compared to the Raid Heavy Machine Gun. Up next, I wanted to talk briefly about the new exotic quests. There are 2 exotic quests this year from Eva Levante. The first one is a personal quest where you have to deliver certain cookies to certain people, get a bunch of different Dawning Spirit, and the second one is very similar, but instead it's a community goal. So certain things will unlock once the community gets enough Dawning Spirit. These 2 quests award different things, including the Starfarer 7M exotic ship, the accompanying ship upgrades, very unique to that particular ship, and a bunch of extra Dawning rewards. The main goal of these quests is going to be collecting Dawning Spirit, which can be gained from all of the different Dawning bounties from Eva. So if you just focus in on very specifically getting those bounties done, you'll get a lot more than if you didn't. Up at the next major section, I wanted to talk about the ingredients, including the best ways to farm each one of these ingredients and how to get each one of them as well. First and foremost, the common ingredients come from killing enemies of a specific type. You can see on screen right now my personal recommendations. Most of them, head to a very specific lost sector, farm that lost sector until you finish it, run out, run back in, and then kill them all over again. The rare ingredients come from how you kill your enemies. These can be done in a number of different ways. My personal recommendation is try to focus in on a primary energy weapon that gets a lot of headshots that's also masterwork. This will maximize all the different possible ingredients you can get in a single kill. And finally, the Dawning Essence, which drops from the end of most activities in varying amounts depending on how long that activity usually takes, and is usually the limiting reagent for most people. Now, the first recommendation I have for this is honestly do the things that you're normally gonna do. If you still have to do strikes, gambit, crucible, certain dungeons, raids, do those things first. You're getting some of those things along the way. Certain things are usually more efficient than others. For example, strikes and crucible are very fast. Gambit's also much faster than it used to be and still gives you a lot of rewards. However, when it comes to straight grinding, the best way to do it is going to be the Legend Lost sectors. You can complete one every 2 minutes, plus the 2 minutes of loading time. Every 4 to 5 minutes, you can get 17 Dawning Essence. Just find a group of 3 people, get above 1250 light, and you can do them very fast and get a lot of rewards, as well as all the kills along the way you're going to get of certain types. But again, that's kind of boring, grinding the same thing over and over and over again, and you don't actually get the chance of getting those exotics, so just do the things you want to do, and you'll get stuff over time. For the next major section, I wanted to talk briefly about the recipes. Every single specific cookie, gallo doodles, donut holes, chocolate chip cookies, the honor braid javelins, every single one of them has a very specific recipe. This plus that plus Dawning Essence, and you make that cookie. And as I mentioned before, I highly recommend you make one of every cookie as soon as you can, as that reduces the cost of cookies. On screen right now, you can see the full list of the Season 9 Dawning rewards. A lot of these have been removed, as a lot of vendors have been removed from the world, and there's also 4 new recipes, which you can again also see on screen right now. Both of these things will be on the document. Next up, let's talk about the triumphs. There are 14 new triumphs for the Dawning 2020. Most of the triumphs award Dawning Spirit, which is useful for your exotic quests, and all of the event triumphs actually award triumph score in varying amounts. There are 2 very specific triumphs which have to do with the exotic quests that actually reward you with shaders. So once you complete each of the different exotic quests, you get the Gold J and Event Cheer shader. All the other triumphs are pretty straightforward. If you deliver 1 cookie to every single vendor, you pretty much have most of the triumphs done. And finally, we have Eververse, who has a bunch of different new stuff, including new ghost shells, ships, sparrows, transmit effects, shaders, emotes, ghost projections, etc. The store will have many items on sale for silver, a premium currency you can spend real money on, and bright dust, an in-game earned currency, and many of the new items will be sold at Eververse for bright dust at some point during the 4 weeks of the event. So if there's something you very specifically want and you don't want to spend money on it, just wait for that week to come around. And they don't sell every single item. Usually they leave out 1 or 2 items, but most of it will be on sale. And on top of that, there's also an event exclusive Dawning 2020 themed universal ornament set being sold by Eververse for either 1500 silver or 6000 bright dust per class per armor set. And with that, there's also bundles for previous year's Dawning armor sets available for the exact same amount. And that is going to be the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions or concerns. If you see a question down there you can answer, you know the answer to, please help me out. And if I missed something from the Dawning event, also please let me know in the comments down below and I'll try to add it to the document. And finally, if you want to come check out my live streams, link to my Twitch in the description down below. I'll be live right after this video. We're doing a bunch of stuff, usually Destiny 2, open lobbies, raids, dungeons, pinnacles, Dawning stuff. Come check it out. That's going to be the end of it. My name's Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.